Steal a taco only at Taco Bell. Just so you can rest easy, the Explorer has changed the midnight pitch back to the walk. Bottom of the first one. First pitch down and away to John Peterson. John Peterson has had an interesting career, but when the postseason turns, he turns. And he's turned to some pearl necklace to make him feel October is his time. The pitch up, he crushes. The pitch down, are outs. He was the first ad for the outfield. He crushes. The pitch down, are outs. July. On the 10th of July, Atlanta lost one of the game's best. We're going to go through some of the things. It's not just losing Ronald Acuna Jr., but a couple of other pieces, which is why it's made this postseason run all the more improbable for a team that just has that it factor here so far this month. And really down the stretch, the Atlanta Braves. The guy at first base, they lost a big chunk on the year too with Darno, and they had to survive with young pitchers and pitching staff. Here's a 1-2 pitch. He said left field. Darno goes the other way, and now John Peterson goes the other way. It's 2 on with nobody out against Robert Valdez here in the second. Their season in review. They lose Acuna Jr. for ACL on July 10th. They remade the outfield, picking up 4 different outfielders in the month of July. They got to their first winning record overall the first week of August on the 6th. And they made their first World Series appearance since 1999. It's not out of the possibility. Watson will bunt, more than likely to attack the fastball. That's where he does damage against left-handers, is the fastball. But, you know, you talk about all those things that the Braves put together, and right after the All-Star break, I mean, I think it was 17 straight games, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, all the way up to that streak we were talking about. They haven't looked back, and that it factor is something that you can't put a number to. Swanson skies one into center, pretty well hit. Back at the track. It is Corbett. Both runners tagging.
Man, these Braves can hit.
As Swanson almost rode that thing out of here. 2 on 1 out. And a productive out by the number 9 hitter, Dansby Swanson. You know, it's one thing if you're a World Series or any game where the strategy offensively, and it looks like the Braves are executing it perfectly. Taking the pitches that are hittable up in the zone and doing stuff with it. It's the pitches that are not, even if they're called for strikes, they're leaving up and low because you're talking about one of the greatest ground ball pitchers in the majors. And so far, the balls that are up, they're able to get some hits on. Valdez will work out of the windup. Sileo, who homered on a 2-0 pitch back in the first inning, rounds one to short. Correa will throw to score. The run scores, and they have Peterson down 2-0, down 3-0 Atlanta. They've made the most of their opportunities, and they made a couple of productive outs here in the second. Yeah, but that's not a good base running play, even though the run scored and you sacrifice the out. The reason that's not a good base running play, anytime you're at second base and the ball is hit to the left side, you can't go. I mean, that's just classic. That's you're out no matter what. There was no threat of Correa going home. And yes, Soler's going to be saved at first, but it would have been 2 outs man on second versus 2 outs man on first. And Freddie coming in. Freeman waits, takes a strike. So Darno scores. Peterson tagged out. The RBI for Sileo. He's got 2 plate appearances and 2 RBIs. He's on first. 2 down. There's another strike. 0-2. Freddie Freeman. Now they're moving the curveball more than likely. Freddie's capable of standing on it. Maybe the round of the hit on that tremendous play by Altuve to his right in the first. Freeman's postseason is kind of a microcosm of this year. Started off slow, went on fire. Postseason against the Dodgers. After hitting a game-winning home run against the Brewers, struck out 7 times in a row, made an adjustment, came back, got 6 more hits after that. That just shows you what Freddie's made of. 0-2 pitch, foul play. There's games 1 and 2. 0 for 8, 7 strikeout. With the rest of the way, 6 for 13. Up the home runs and 6 walks. 6 walks for Hughes, too. Another 0-2 pitch from Framber Valdez. Freeman lays off. Game 1's so much different in a best of 7 than best of 5. You can be a little more patient with your starter. Dusty, no better man than Dusty and his ability to stay patient. Now, you don't want the game to get out of hand, especially at home, but his willingness to let his starters pitch deeper into the game has showed up in the last couple of years. Valdez didn't get through 3 innings in Game 1 of the ALCS against Boston. He talked leading into this start tonight, saying it's a matter of controlling my emotions. And they got the better of me in Game 1, but 2 2/3. Then we had all those shots at him just meditating during Game 5 at Fenway when he was almost unhittable. And in that game, there would have been a lot of managers that would have pulled him after the 6th. Dusty let him go 8. 2-2 here. Scooped up by Maldonado, full count. Both pitchers already showing that the release point's a little bit off, right? You don't see those kind of pitches out of Framber. He's got great touch with the secondary pitches. Right now, again, both pitchers have had time where they step back and try to get reacclimated with what they know they do best. That's the hard part in a postseason game, is to slow everything down when it feels like it's speed down. He's 27 years old, Dusty Baker, the Astros riding this roller coaster. He's a pitch down, and it's 2 out with 0. First walk issued by Valdez. I've seen each pitcher walk a batter after getting 0-2 so fast that none of the pitches after that resulted in good execution. Now always, here's where Valdez has got to be very careful on the first pitch, similar to what Morton had when Tucker was up. What a year. This dangerous switch hitting second baseman. Ball 1, down and away. First Braves second baseman to put up 30 and 100 home runs RBIs. 93 home runs in the young career of Ozzie Albies. It's been posted all the time by a switch hitter before turning 25. Reaching for it. As Altuve out in front of him through the first. And Albies beat it out. And the bases are loaded with 2 down. I don't think, if I was watching correctly, I don't know if Correa could get to the back as far as he had pulled. So you see this throw that Altuve had to make. He's safe. Well, there's an out in front, and you're right. Correa pulled around. But how far Correa had to go. So you couldn't give him a second. You put Correa hurry to throw first. And that wasn't lackadaisical at all by Altuve. He was just playing deep. The ball wasn't hit super firm. And again, the speed of Albies. It's out of the inning, and now has to deal with Austin Riley. With 2 out, what a chance here for Atlanta. Time called by the hitter. Out of the stretch, but he's more comfortable out of the windup. By pitching out of the windup, you give the runners a huge advantage with 2 outs to easily score on a single, possible double at first. Straight one. Valdez gets that low pitch for strike one, and there's already action for Houston for bullpen. Jimmy Garcia. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. Valdez got the ground ball by Alves. But Isaac beat the throw by Altuve. Austin Riley with a chance, but backed up with company 2. As the Braves lead the bases loaded. What a job by Valdez. Just one scoring in the inning. Brings up 3-0. We respect our past, but we are always moving forward.
Wow. That new Corvette looks incredible.
I want to make some real noise. This is what I'm going to be in right here.
Thanks for asking, dude. It's just, it's just my back a little. It's all good. No, hey, and Steven, thank you for the vote of confidence.
Sarah, you said you were buying a car today.
It's 4 a.m.
Yeah, I stayed up and crunched all the numbers.
I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly.
Online, honey, now that can affect your credit score.
It didn't, Dad. Then I got my real rate and monthly payment. Now I just need to head to the dealership for a test drive and purchase.
Sounds easy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, since we're both up, who wants French toast? What's in your wallet?
This is called momentum. And there's no off season. It's work that builds on itself.
Yep, I am. Just a little bit on the back tonight. That's all. I've even got people looking at me going, "Seals, you don't look good." I'm like, really? Hey, give me a break. That's right, man. Chris O just said you should have seen me in the 80s. That did not happen. A little bit, yeah. Thank you, man. I was hoping that you would be there. Oof. Hey, it's funny. I ran out of those things you told me to eat. Yeah. Okay. You know what else really helped me too? Putting that ball on under my foot. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That saved my ass there. Now I'm going to jam this bitch. There's Shohei Ohtani, man. That kid is something else. Hey, so like, what's up with like Biden at this event tonight with no mask and nobody had a mask on? I mean, no, I know, but it's just like you. Hey, you must be so sick of that talk by now. You know what the comparison is when we were talking about deflated footballs, and I was doing this. You're really going to waste 2 hours of my life talking about deflated footballs in New England. Yeah, but you could grip it better. Well, that's because, Chris, I'm sure the athlete you are needs everything perfectly constructed. Oh, see, you cannot use that as a crutch. You can't give somebody something and then take it back, Indian giver. See? Oh, yeah. Really, what is that? Wow. Oh, don't say that, you jackass. You're wrong, man. Yeah, love her. She goes like this, Dan, this is not it. That might freak me out too, though, dog. Junior, that might freak me out too. Yeah, that might do it, Junior. That's funny. Wow. Will you stop it? Wow. I love people. I love, yeah, and God, please forgive my guy. Okay, he not knows what he does. Oh, he doesn't mean anything he says right now. He's just angry right now. No, you don't sound it. Oh, whoa. What does that mean? Good evening, America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio. What a night. World Series Game 1. NFL season is with great storylines. I mean, you have hockey, you have basketball, you have a time in our country right now where Americans are getting back to some normalcy here. Fans are all over the place at the World Series game. You know, there's no politics there. The college games that we saw that were packed with all the fans in the stands. It's really great, man. I am so happy to see that the fans are back. And God, do we need it. I mean, we so need it. And the fans are telling Americans now, want to get together? You want to come together? Sports is the way to roll it, man. By the way, let me say this to you about the World Series. So real quick here, man. As we said, welcome aboard with us here tonight. There's always ways that you can get involved with our show. You can join us on our Twitch channel, our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel here too. A lot of people are online with us right now. We so appreciate it that they come aboard. They add to the program like Trevor and Ken and Charles and everybody that's involved with the program. We thank you so much for adding that way. Plus, if you're listening to us on one of our great affiliates with USA Radio Network, we so appreciate it. But you know what? You know what's great for baseball tonight? They have a villain. They have a villain. No matter what the Houston Astros do, that cheating scandal will be with them no matter what. Like the New England Patriots in a way. Okay? Patriots with all those controversies that they had, Deflategate, Spygate, all that. I mean, that's who you are. You're never going to take that narrative away. But baseball is better when you have a villain in the sport. For that matter, all sports are better when you have a villain. Some of you are saying, what do you mean by villain? I'm going to show you here. Well, the cheating scandal of a couple of years ago, I guess the Astros really didn't need to cheat at the end of the day. Or unless you're one of those conspiracy theories kind of people that, think elections are stolen and such, you probably think they're doing something else. Is that how it goes? Because I don't know how you people think. See, I'm a scoreboard guy. Guy loses a football game or team loses a football game, you lost the game. Guy loses an election, you lost the election. Scoreboard, move on. Let's move the chains. I don't sit around and dissect it until that nauseum. Okay? It's a beautiful thing about sports. You can't dissect winning and losing. Not in our world, you can't. Because everyone knows, hey, you lost the game, dude. There's no debating. Well, we were the better team. Every time somebody said, you know what's crazy? How many times you hear people in politics do this? Well, I was the better candidate. Did you lose? Yeah. Well, guess what? No one wants to hear from you, guy. I was the better. Yeah, whatever, dude. You got another 2 years or 4 years, whatever your deal is. Sports, you can't do that. Oh, you lost the Super Bowl, Chiefs. Yeah. Well, we were the better team. No, not on that night you weren't. Okay? Well, I lost the 7-game series. Well, not in that 2 weeks you weren't the best team. You know what I mean? There's clarity in it. There's absolute clarity in it. It's great. It's what's wonderful. And the Astros with that cheating scandal, now you have remember back in the day when you had Barry Bonds in the sport and he was booed everywhere he went? But yet every time Bonds was in your town, he was must-see television. Ratings were through the roof. Attendance was filled because there he was, the villain. Even A-Rod. When baseball was in the steroid era, in my opinion, it was one of the best eras of baseball history because you had villains everywhere. Juan Gonzalez, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Canseco. Oh, here comes the Reuters. This guy's and you know what? You always defended your own juicer, right? Ken Cabinetti's revered in San Diego, but Bonds is reviled in San Diego. He's a scummy guy, but yet your own guy juiced. It's sports, though, so it's all right. I get it. I understand. But when you took the villains out of, who's a villain in baseball? Now you got the Astros. Did they cheat to get that World Series? I don't know. I thought that's what baseball guys did. They stole signs. They took a little peek down at the catcher where he was positioning. Maybe you could catch a pitch, right? I thought that was all part of gamesmanship in baseball. When I played it, it was. You were constantly trying to steal signs. Isn't that what baseball was? Oh, okay, I know. Well, the integrity, hitting on trash cans. I don't care what you think, man. Okay? You got the upper hand on your opponent. All good. You know what the New England Patriots used to do? They used to cart their cheerleaders out when the opposing team went out and stretched. Right in front of the guys. Finally, Sean McDermott went, what is this? He started catching on. It was crazy funny, man. Crazy funny. Or there'd be something wrong with the showers at Ohio State when you played Woody Hayes' Buckeye teams. You were the opposing team, and there you are showering up. To get the showers, half of them would work. Seriously, man, when you go into Ohio State, you go into the horseshoe. I don't know if they do this to this day still, but I got to tell you, man, when you go into the horseshoe, check this out. You usually travel 65 players on your team. You know how many showers there are? There's 10. It is 10 and 2 bars of soap. It's crazy. You walk in there, man, these showers look like you're in prison. Honestly, man, you're like, this is ridiculous. Freezing cold. Windows are open. Yeah. The walls, I swear on my family, the walls were painted pink. I'm not kidding. The walls at the Horseshoe were painted pink in the locker room. I walked in here, I was like, are we in the right place? This is funny. I started laughing because I was like, this is great. Every program should do this. You should make it uncomfortable for people that show up to your building. What do you think this is, man? But that's what makes really great villains. I love it, man. So kudos to baseball for doing that. Really, kudos for people doing that. And you're now doing this now. Look, you got a villain in baseball. And so, like, are you going to root for the Astros? I'm kind of rooting for the Astros. You know, I'm kind of rooting for them. I really am. All right, I want to go over to my favorite coach in pro football. His name is Mike Tomlin. Man, was he great at the microphone today. Holy cow. You know, Mike Tomlin is the third NFL head coach in Pittsburgh since 1969. I tell you the stat all the time. They've had 3 coaches, 3 leaders since 1969 when we put a guy on the moon. Okay, the first time we put a guy on the moon, the Steelers got their coach in Chuck Noll. Then they got Coward, and they got this guy who's never had a losing season in 14 years, as I said. And he is truly the coach that I'd want to play for. God, do I love Mike Tomlin. I love everything about that guy. And I pray to God that one day he gets into broadcasting when he's done coaching, because he will be sensational on TV. Mike Tomlin will be sensational on TV. Sensational. So he was asked the question because Carson Palmer lied yesterday. Carson Palmer, the former USC Heisman Trophy winner, mediocre NFL player, comes out and says that Mike Tomlin's name is being thrown around as a potential candidate for the USC job. And Mike Tomlin shut that thing down immediately today. This is how he, and I'm going to paraphrase it. Tomlin goes like this to everyone that's sitting here. Goes, dude, guys, please don't waste my time. Don't waste my time with that nonsense. I'm the head football coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I get the best job in the world. Why would I be interested in a college job? Why would I be interested in a college job? You never say never, but I'm saying never. And by the way, there's not a booster or an alumni guy that could stroke the check for me to leave Pittsburgh and go to LA. Then he goes on to say, and he was, you know, at first I didn't think he was insulted. I thought he was playing around. But then I started thinking he was insulted. He goes, you know what's crazy? You guys don't ask Andy Reid or you guys don't ask Sean Payton that question, but you thought you'd ask the Pittsburgh Steelers head football coach. What the hell's wrong with you? Why would you ask me that? Mike Tomlin was, I added that, what the hell's wrong with you? Because that's how I felt too. Why would you ask that guy that? He has got one of the, that's like asking Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys, hey man, how'd you like to get the SMU job? I'm the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You might want to ask one of my guys in the other room who are my assistants, because I think you got the wrong guy. Now look, if we're talking about the head coach of the Jags or the Jets, I get it. But you're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tomlin made it seem, why would you disrespect me? They're right. He's right. Why would you do that? Why would you think he'd want to go coach college kids? He's the Steeler head coach. Man, I just was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And he made it very clear he has no interest in it. So again, here's a guy in Carson Palmer that's standing on an anthill and he's screaming for attention. Okay? And he's just screaming it, and somebody saw it because he went to Southern Cal and he's a former Heisman winner. But because he wanted to be relevant, he threw something out there that wasn't true. Tomlin goes, I have zero interest in this. Zero. He's the head coach of the Steelers. That is the first time I've ever seen a head coach just go like this. You know, most coaches kind of floated out there. Oh, yeah, there could be some truth to this, and I don't know. Because USC job's not going to be a cheap job. Whoever gets that job is going to make $7-8 million. They got more money than Moses, man. That school could pay for anybody. They could pay for anybody. And pro coaches, too, by the way, like Mike Tomlin. And you know what? For the record, say USC is trolling for Mike Tomlin. I actually give him kudos. Why wouldn't you want Mike Tomlin as your head football coach? Think of this for a second. Trevor goes, how much is Mike Tomlin worth? Tomlin makes $9 million now. Makes $9 million a year. Okay? You're going to go live in Los Angeles? You need to pay him $14 million with taxes. Okay? Pennsylvania versus California, the state of California. Okay? You'd have to pay him $12 million bucks a year. $12 million. But here, know this. If you are USC, kudos to you, man, for trolling it out there, trying to see if he would bite on it. So he's not biting on it. I love the fact that SC may be aiming high like that, though. That's a good sign. If I'm a person that goes to that school, or if I am in that program right now, or I'm a potential kid that's good thinking about going to USC, and you're talking about guys like Mike Tomlin, you got me still interested in Southern Cal. You got me interested in the program, because if you're aiming, don't do this. Don't aim for Mike Tomlin and land on some no-name assistant, because you'll lose every kid on the planet. You can't be throwing something out going, hey, we're going to look at Tomlin, then hire Tom Nobody. No. All right. This is going to be a really weird tease. I'm going to ask you if this is a racist comment. I'll explain. Keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. No faith. Oh, yeah, Chris. That's exactly what it is. And the barometric pressure going up and down. My aunt's going to get hit tonight, too. They got like a nor'easter coming. Is that right, Trev? You're there, New Canaan? Go ahead. Trevor just says it's raining sideways all day today, and he lives right near my aunt. Wow. You're a douche, man. Down here with me? Huh. Well, I mean, we're okay. So, like, where are you assuming she is? Why don't you take a lap around the sickle, ma'am? I don't know. I didn't have one. Well, you're making me feel shitty. Oh, I'm not. Dude, you go from the guy that owned the place to this. I mean, come on. You know, where are you? Where are you right now? Braves are putting a whooping stick on them. Shut up. It's excuse me, ma'am. It's not the Facebook any longer. That was dropped years ago. It's Facebook. Oh God Almighty, please. Wow, this is you need. Excuse me, ma'am. Your son needs a psychiatrist, which I'm sure he's already seen 14 of them. Oh my. Your stick. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Thank God some of you are not on my YouTube channel right now. Oh my God. Appreciate everybody coming aboard here tonight. Can I ask you if you think this is racist? I'm going to read from ESPN just so we're all on the same page here. And I'm just going to ask you a question. If this is racist. Out of ESPN.com. So this is not something Dan wrote down. You're looking at me on my social media platforms. This is nothing. Just ESPN. Sarah Barshop, staff writer. Here's the headline. Houston Texans chairman and CEO Cal McNair apologizes for inappropriate choice of words at a team event in May. So let me read it to you. Then you tell me. Texas chairman and CEO Cal McNair apologized today following a report that he made an anti-Asian comment at a charity golf event in May. According to Bally Sports, which spoke to several individuals who were present for the remark, McNair said, and I quote, "I'm sorry that we couldn't get together last year because of the China virus." While briefly addressing the 100-plus attendees at the Houston Texans Foundation Charity Golf Classic at River Oaks Country Club. McNair was referring and referencing a phrase also used by former President Donald Trump. Soon after he made the comment, McNair apologized to the individuals who were still around him before the start of the golf outing. "My comment at the event last May included an inappropriate choice of words. I am immediately apologizing to people who were approaching me, and I apologize to them again. I know how important it is to choose your words carefully. I would never want to offend anyone." Is that racist? When you have the German measles or Spanish flu? Hold on, Chris, let me finish here. Okay? I guess it's a choice here of whether or not you believe where the virus came from. There's a part of me that does believe that there is a negative connotation made towards the Asian community, and already we have massive issues with that in our country. So I understand that it's at an all-time high. And so is hating on the Jewish community in this country is at an all-time high. So the China virus Chris, I'd love to hear you. I do want to know. Do you think that that's a racist comment? Yeah. Does it? Okay, well then let's go to the people in the media who put this out as a comment, because if you look at ESPN here, the way that they have packaged this, inappropriate choice of words, and then in the column, Chris, it says anti-Asian comment. Yes, like Stephen A. Smith made. That's a great point. I want to hit on that next. That's a spectacular point by my guy, Chris O. We'll continue that. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Love it. I'm doing something important here. Hang on. What do you got? A fire going or something? I know it sounds like you got a fire going. Still sounds it. Yeah, that's what it is, Chris. Yeah. Might just be that though. Yep. Well, God knows how many emails that he rifled as an ESPN employee. No, they've never released them. The NFL released them. So they were, guarantee you, John Gruden used his own, and he used ESPN's email. No. You're right about that, man. Great comic, Chris. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. No. I got Steven saying that on my social media platforms. I don't censor anybody. Choose your words wisely, though. And people joining us also on our social media platforms, too, as they add to the show, as you do each and every single night. Chris O with a spectacular take. It's funny how Sarah Barshop and ESPN, because you know ESPN is a political network now. You know, they're the people that, here, let me just, you don't really even need me to say it. Look at how they phrased this article, though. What they tried to do was make Cal McNair, who is the son of Bob McNair, who passed away last year, seem like he made a racist comment. Houston Texans chairman and CEO Cal McNair apologized for inappropriate choice of words. Is it because Trump used it that makes it inappropriate? Texans chairman and CEO Cal McNair apologized Tuesday following a report that he made an anti-Asian comment at a golf outing in May. I don't think it is. According to Bally Sports, which spoke to several individuals who were present for the remark, I'm sorry that we couldn't get together last year because of the China virus. Haven't we determined now with our investigations here in the States that it's most likely that it came from the Wuhan labs? I thought that both parties are now coming to the realization of that. That's kind of what I've been reading, unless I'm off base on that. And so if you're assuming that and you're reading what I'm reading and I'm hearing what I'm hearing, I mean, I don't call it that because I just don't. I just call it COVID. I don't call it by the country. But I've heard people reference that, and I never thought twice of it. Because you know why? Spanish flu, German measles, stuff like that. I mean, we've all done that, and it's part of our conversation and how we speak about certain viruses. And this thing, from what I'm understanding, and again, I'm not an expert on this, and I'm not going to pretend to be. So, but the way ESPN has phrased this, I'm sure if you read further down, Bally Sports reported that after McNair made the comment, his wife, Hannah McNair, joked about her husband's use of the term China virus to several people who had been present for the remark. Okay? So now they're trying to paint his wife as one too. That is such BS reporting right there. Especially from a company like Chris O said that tolerated this statement made by their highest paid employee, Stephen A. Smith. When asked the question about Shohei Ohtani, who just, by the way, got some amazing award tonight. Let me see what that award was. He got this really cool award tonight. I even retweeted it because it was one of the most iconic seasons in all of baseball history. And I love the fact, too. It's the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. And it's awesome. And Shohei Ohtani has won it. And Stephen A. Smith was asked on First Take, I think Max Kellerman was still in the room there at the time. Hey, Shohei Ohtani should be the face of Major League Baseball. He goes, there is no way you can have an Asian-born athlete as the face of Major League Baseball. There's no way Americans will accept that. And I was like this, you ain't speaking for me, dude. I think that guy is the face of baseball. He's Babe Ruth. The difference is, though, he's doing it at the same time. Ruth didn't do it at the same time until his final season in Boston. I mean, unbelievable, okay? Yet, get this, Stephen A. Smith gets a raise. That's a racist comment. Because he's Asian, he can't be the face of baseball? Why? Because he's Asian. There's no other way to look at it. Not because he was born in Asia or he was born in Japan, but he was Asian and born in a different country. I mean, can you be any more racist than that? But you're going to try to paint the owner of the Houston Texans as a racist because he's a Donald Trump supporter and his wife. That's crappy ass reporting. That's how you frame a story and a narrative on a story to make it fall on your side of the aisle. You're cooking the story. That's exactly right. Chris deals more in journalism with people that come on the talk shows and the news talk shows and all the political shows. Would you call it, Chris, cooking a story? Cooking the story. That's good. I got it. Bally Sports said that they were informed of the comment and they were there. Here, let me see. According to Bally Sports, which spoke to several individuals who were present for the remark, McNair says, I'm sorry that we couldn't get together last year because of the China virus. And so Bally Sports reported it to ESPN, and I'm assuming this staff writer. Well, Bally Sports is saying he said it in front of their folks there at this event, who they were hosting this event for the Houston Texans. But Chris, here's my question to you then. Is the China virus worthy enough of a story to cook the books on it to make it seem that it's a racist story? Boy, I'll tell you, man, that's exactly right when he says that, folks, that they were cooking a story. That's cooking a story right there. That is manipulating something that's not, like you said, Chris, a story. Okay? That is so not that. Get this. Those are all the no-nos you do in journalism. Yeah. But you see, at a place like ESPN, that's what they're pushing today. They push that. That's their angle. It's sad, man. That's why people don't trust the media, man. I mean, look at that. I mean, and get this. if you tried fighting that or talking about that, you're going to have half of this country that's going to make that seem like it is racist, and it's not. Even the Democrats are now saying that most likely this thing did come from the Wuhan labs. Chris, let me stop you here and say something to you though. Do you know that I think that if I was on a mainstream sports network or station, I think that I would be called into the principal's office for this one here, and I might be suspended for this. No. Talking about this and disputing this story and saying that I don't think this is racist. I think I would be called into the principal's office. Do you? But why would I be? So he's quoting Donald Trump, the president of the United States. So are you assuming? So what you're saying is that Trump's racist? No. What ESPN is saying then? But am I right? Am I connecting the dots right? If Trump said it, they're saying that Trump's racist, the president of the United States, the owner of the Houston Texans. That's right. It's about Donald Trump. Yep. Trump gets clicks. Trump gets views. See, hey, watch this. CNN is now feeling that. Why do you think they keep regurgitating stories of Donald Trump? Because they can't go anywhere else with anyone else. They can't hammer Biden because Biden is their guy. They can't hammer the son. They can't hammer Hillary. They can't hammer. By the way, they're frightened as all hell right now, that Virginia governor's race that's going on. Nobody ever thought that thing would be as close as it is. They called Biden in tonight to go in there. They had Obama the other day in there. Man, really, like I said, this story here, because when I asked my wife before we went on the air too, Chris, you know what she said? Listen, when you bring that, oh no, right. When you bring this kind of story up here and you dispute something like this, you're automatically going to be put in a room where you're going to be called a racist. But to me, it's more important to kind of frame how they're framing this story to make the former president of the United States look like a racist, using McNair, Bally Sports, and the Texans as the pawns in the article. That's what this is. That's right. Like Chris just said, hence Cook's story. Boy, they went a long way to call Donald Trump a racist. No, we don't anymore. No, we don't. No, we don't, Chris. You do not. You know this right now that if I was on a sports station somewhere in America right now, the program director would go, "Did you say this right now that you don't believe what Bob McNair said was racist?" And I would say, and my wife is right. You know what I would say? "Oh no, he probably is racist." "Oh, okay, good. You keep your job," because I would have to lie. Here's something else. There's no point in this story at all. There's just no point in it. But again, clicks and views. Are they really that important to companies that they don't care how they hurt their own form of journalism, that they'll go to any extent whatsoever, no matter how it looks, how you look, you're not going to have the journalistic integrity that you're trying to display as a network. Okay? Those 30 for 30s are the greatest thing. Bill Simmons is the architect of those things. And that's that besides the Sports Century stuff that they did, Chris, those are the two best things that they have done in the last 35 years. What makes everybody come together? Nicely done. Hey, nicely done, too. The grouper sandwiches are fantastic, and also the steamers, too. Do me a favor, guys. If you are in the Phoenix area, please do me a favor. Make sure you get on over there and have yourself one of the absolute best times there is, okay? Head to Hooters. Check out our 11 o'clock lunch special starting at $8. Wash it all down with some Michelob Ultra Drafts, $3. The Secchi's, $4. See you at Hooters, and do me a favor, tell them that your boy Sileo sent you. I want to talk to Sean Watson. We'll do it next. That was a good segment. That was a good segment. Nice little ad. Nice little appendage. Yes. Look at that. Why didn't you just call Trump, dude? Who? Donald Trump? No way. Yeah, tell him Sileo wants to get you on. How did he get him? Hey, find that out for me. Who'd he go through to get him? Yeah, my guy dropped the ball. Honey, that guy doesn't know his ass from his hands. Wow, fantastic. Good for you. You know, one of my favorite segments in radio of all time was Paul Harvey. Rest of the story. I love Paul Harvey. That's nice. She would love that. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Got a little lesson in journalism tonight. Chris, you wanted to add here to this story here? Okay. Yep. That's one of the beautiful things that I consistently say about sports all the time is that there's nothing in those buildings and in those arenas that have anything to do with agendas. They're just sports fans rooting for a particular team, Pistons, Lions, whomever, Red Wings. And so again, when you see stories like that, you're disappointed because you know why? They're cooking stories and they're trying to create the hate that we're again witnessing in our media. It's everywhere now, and it's disappointing. I want to get to Deshaun. Let me get to Deshaun Watson here, and let me give you the latest here. So Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the Houston Texans, has now opened up his eyes and maybe his desires to play in other places other than Miami. Well, he doesn't hold all the cards. He does hold the one thing, and that is the fact that he does have a no trade. But with all these legal situations still pending, not every place is going to be conducive to what, we were just talking about narrative, that the narrative is going to be on Deshaun Watson when he lands in one of these particular cities. You couldn't send Deshaun Watson to San Francisco. You couldn't send him to Seattle. You couldn't send him to New York. You couldn't send him to probably Boston. Okay? There's just certain places that are going to be snowflake cities that aren't going to be able to handle those kind of things because there's cancel culture in those cities. You've got to send them to cities that are tough, that are going to want the truth, that are going to embrace. Look at Philadelphia, what they did with Michael Vick. Michael Vick tortured dogs. They took him in. They forgave him. Nobody will forget that. But Vick's turned out to be, I think, a really, really good dude in at least working to try to right a wrong. You'll never be able to, but at least he's working at it, and people have accepted that. Look, man, I'm all for rehabilitation. I believe in it. Okay? I completely believe in it. Here's the thing with Deshaun. Christine Brennan came out tonight from USA Today. She's a dear friend of mine. You guys all know that. She thinks that Deshaun Watson should be basically suspended. I happen to agree with her to a point. Why haven't they? Doesn't that question ever rise, or is it so that you're so to the conviction already before due process takes its turn? Are you really there? When you see, how about this? Watch this. 23 sexual assault cases are pending against Deshaun Watson. Do you automatically, as Americans, go to the conviction and forget the due process today? Is that what you do? Because if you do and you are there that he should be suspended, well, why hasn't the district attorney in Houston arrested him? Had an arrest warrant for him? The commissioner of the NFL suspend him without pay. Why hasn't all that happened? Don't you think the due process has to get to the conviction and not the conviction? Oh, and then we'll worry about the due process. By the way, I'm not saying if he's guilty or innocent. I'm just saying, don't you think it's fishy that no one's done anything legally to the guy. But the media wants to convict him already. So the media wants to convict him without due process, which is standard, though, isn't it? It's standard. All right. So much more going on. Major League Baseball, everything going on in the NFL. College football will reset. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show.